Hey, what's going on, guys? Joshua Spotchick here again. Just dropped the first episode of Spotchick Studios. Nothing really crazy. Like I said, we'll probably get more into the editing and stuff once I have a bit of more equipment and I finish all this other financial and legal matter and some personal stuff. But today we're doing a daily fish talk, so we're not going to get too in depth. We're probably just going to go over some basic stuff. If anyone has any questions, I've been in the hobby pretty much my whole life since I was 9. So got well over 18 years under my belt, mostly freshwater. I've done some saltwater, not really too much into that. Down here in the, I guess, makeshift aquarium room for now. But I do have some breeding pairs, so we'll probably be posting those on, my Wix website once I re-update it. Basically anything freshwater, I'm a bit of a encyclopedia nerd myself, but I've either owned it, bred it, or had it. Today we're probably just going to go over a little bit of fish food and the stuff that I use for the purpose of my breeding, maybe some water parameters. So we're just going to jump right into it. If y'all do want to also support my other channel, just type in my name, Joshua Spotchick. It's Joshua, Spachek. I got a bunch of music out on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Audio Mac, you name it. Really appreciate that. I'm using that to give back to the community through music and financially, just help people out and bring peace. So, if you like music and you like fish, this is for you. We're going to go over some of the fish food I use. I wouldn't say there's a specific, one brand that is the best. I honestly can tell you that there's probably not the best brand of fish food. It's kind of just what you're using. If you're just have community tanks and you're not really too much in the hobby, you just have that one tank and you want to know what's best for your fish to eat is what's nutritionally accurate for the breed. If they're omnivores, if they're carnivores, if they're herbivores, then you would obviously buy accordingly. For my purpose of breeding, I use a little bit variety of fish food. My favorite thing is the Hikari Cichlid Gold. There's a lot of different blends for color enhancement, growth formula that I use for my fry. I've even used the large pellets, crunched that up, and I have really great results with that. For just my community tank, I normally use something like flake base. Although when using flakes, depending on the brand and the blend, you can get a little bit of cloudy water, whether you're overfeeding or not. Me personally, I think that's just a side effect that you're going to have using dried fish flakes. And you're putting powder in water. So, if whatever they don't eat and goes to the bottom is going to get absorbed into the water, that's why I really recommend having bottom feeders. Even in my breeding tank over here, I have 2 breeding pairs of parrot cichlids, and I have 2 albino self-in cories and multiple other bottom feeders. And I think bottom feeders is very crucial in any aquarium you have to pick up the excess fish food and waste. So this is a brand I like to use. It's called Aqueon. They have some pretty good aquarium builds as well. That flake blend is mostly all natural ingredients and vitamins, and it is very great if you're trying to get away from other chemical byproducts in fish foods. It's pretty simple, Something else I was talking about earlier is this Hikari. I've used this my entire aquarium, since I've been a hobbyist. I've never gone wrong. This is a little more pricey. You're looking at, $12 to $16, $18 a bag. It'll last you, depending on how many tanks you have. This is the Cichlid Staple. I really like this brand. These are the large pellets. And so if you look back on here, it's very clean as far as blend goes. And, they got over 135 years of experience doing this. And so this, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with this. All the vitamins and nutrition that you're going to need to, if you're trying to get your fish grown, or let's say you got quarter-inch size offspring that you're getting ready to separate into different grades and you're getting ready to sell. That's a great blend. It's really rich, and it won't cloud your water, which is what I really like about it. And it helps reduce the color fading, right? So there's different nutritions that we as people need, obviously, to be optimal, and there's different nutrition that fish need to be optimal. So we'll get in depth and all that stuff to more detailed videos later. This is something I use. It's also Hikari, and this is color enhancing. Again, large pellets because I got some pretty large fish. Also won't cloud your water. Very good plus, but it's growth and color. So you get a little bit of both worlds with this one. The thing I like is they put I can't pronounce it. Forgive me. I don't. Very southern. Sprinilla, or I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it is very protein based. It's probably one of the most protein based byproducts. Per like, I think gram. It's like over 35 grams of protein or something. It's pretty insane. And I like that because it's in there. Another thing that I've just started recently using is the omega-1. It's a whole seafood protein. So if you don't know what that means, it's primarily ingredients. It is made of course, what you would assume is from the ocean, seafood. So you have whole herring, shrimp, a lot of plant-based protein like pea protein. I haven't had this cloud in my water. I use this for my bigger cichlids and also for my fry for color enhancement so that I can kind of see what effect it has versus other fish food. There's nothing artificial in any of the fish food I use, which I really like. But yeah, it's kind of just whatever is comfortable. If anyone has any more detailed questions, I'm going to be releasing like specific breed, specific cichlids, you know, what I've had experience using that is more prominent, that I get better outcomes with. Like I said, there's nothing specific. Like there's not one specific brand of fish food. There's like, oh, you know, this tropical whatever is the best. No, it's what's the best is what's is best for that breed, what their diet is, and if you're giving it to them or not is the results you're going to get. So we're going to jump into breeding because really big passion of mine. Right now I have 2 polar parrot offsprings, different broods. So I have the polar ice and a platinum ice, and if you don't know what that is, it's essentially they take a convict, and there's a little bit of convict genes in there, and they take a parrot, so they get the round body, but you get a polar ice parrot, which literally looks like a convict cichlid, except it's round and parrot shaped. And then you have the platinum ice, which I'm not too familiar with, so I'll probably drop a different video on that. But I have a hybrid of that going on. It's very common in the hobby, so we'll be posting those. And then I have a pure platinum ice breeding pair. So those fry are here. I've already uploaded them on my channel. I do get a lot of questions though. It's like, okay, how do you seem to always have baby fish? You seem to always have fry. Like, how are you always getting your fish to breed? And the trick question that is, you as the hobbyist are never going to dictate solely if your fish breed. You can make the environment right, you can make the pH right, you can make the conductivity of the water right. You can do everything right, and sometimes those fish will not breed. It's entirely up to them. But if I assure you, if you present the right water parameters, the right environment, and you give everything that fish would normally have present in its environment to breed in the wild, I can tell you they're going to probably breed. A lot of the water up here in Alaska is on the more alkaline side, and so again, I'll drop another video and get into like water parameters and stuff like that. I personally, from experience, again, I'm not a scientist, so that's why I use that a lot, because you have a lot of other YouTubers and stuff out here, and hey, this, you have to use this is the only thing that works, and it's like, or hey, this is fact, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not an expert, right? I don't have a degree in that, so I don't know. I just know from experience. A 6.5 pH. So if you look at a pH scale, you have your acidic side, so we'll just say that's my left, or I guess you're right, depending on videography. And then the right side is alkaline. So in the middle, you have like a 6.5. You start getting down to the acidic level, all the way down to your 5, 5.5, 4, 4.2, all this stuff. And then towards the right, you're getting more alkaline. So a great example is like Texas, Tennessee. You have a lot of Tennessee's a little more acidic. Georgia's a little more alkaline. Texas is very alkaline. You have all this limestone, right? So you're looking at 7.8, 8.4 pH. So the alkalinity of the water is higher. There's more mineral content. The conductivity is probably higher. There's more mineral base in the water, right? And conductivity is very different than pH. So you can have acidic water with high conductivity. You can have alkaline water with high or low conductivity as well. I like to have very low conductivity, and that means there's less mineral, there's less conduction going on in the water. Salt water is more conductive. There's salt in it, right? So the rate in which electricity is going to pass through that water is actually very high because there's more areas for it to grab onto, more areas of flow because it has a higher conductivity, right? When you're breeding fish, you want a lower conductivity. So a lot of my egg layers, which means they lay eggs to reproduce, if that male tries to fertilize the eggs and the conductivity is too high, the sperm may not penetrate the egg, so you won't have fertilization. Because when that female lays and deposits her eggs, they could calcify over, things of that nature. Sometimes it's not going to happen immediately, but the success rate of having fry is definitely lower if you don't have your conductivity right. For breeding, I normally try to stay in a 6.5, 6.7 from my experience. If I get a pair of fish and I want them to start initiating the breed by the end of that month, I normally go with the 6.5 pH. From my experience, I have not had, if I get a breeding pair of angel or discus or whatever, and I'm trying to get them used to the environment or initiate the breed, right? I'm running about 6.5 pH. So, like I said, we're going to get really in depth into some food specific, water specific, filtration specific. Another great, I want to say a lot of the information, and when I was a younger hobbyist and I didn't know something, DIY King. That guy's awesome. That guy's phenomenal. If you can think of it, he's probably already made a YouTube video on it. So go check that out, DIY King. Something local, if y'all were at the fair, is Bad Bob's Alaskan's beard products. And so that guy's cool. I've been using his beard product. I've used a lot of different stuff like Everyman Jack, things of that nature. Not really great stuff. The beard oil and the cherry tobacco is, I want to say, probably the best beard product I've ever used. So go check them out. I'm probably going to be using his product forever. And yeah, we're just going to probably upload some more videos. I got a bunch of aquariums here, and we'll get more in depth in that. And again, from my experience, because we don't know everything. But yep, stay tuned, and we'll have some more videos uploaded and get some more editing done. And again, if you have any breed specific questions, hit me up in the comments. We're a new channel, so we're all about corrective criticism. We're all about getting information out there, and we're all about helping people breed. And again, music. We're all about music.